Our first speaker is Oyin Edogi. Oyin is the voice, blogger, and brand curator of SweetLikeOyin, based in Austin, Texas. As a traveler and lifestyle blogger, Oyin is dedicated to creation, exploration, and inspiring individuals all across the world. Her mission is to share insights into her life and tools to improve everything from personal development to travel tips while maintaining the most authentic version of yourself. So please help me give a big warm welcome for Miss Oyin Edogi.
And the crowd goes wild when you stop. Thank you so much, Nate, for having me on. And hello to everyone watching. I'm really excited to just, jump into branding and what that looks like for me and what that could look like for you. So I thought it'd be best to start out with what branding is exactly. And don't mind me if I'm looking at my notes. I have, some bullet points written down and whatnot. So branding to me is the process of creating a strong voice. And I think that is very important so that way you can, see yourself as a brand, identify yourself as a brand. I wanted to break everything down into like three different sections, three different important parts of branding from ground zero. That's what the event is about. So I do want to share a little bit about myself. I know Nate, gave me an introduction. For those of you that don't know, I am the brand curator of SweetLikeOyin. I'm very focused on helping others inspire a life that they love living. Now, when it comes to my social media and my brand, it's something that kind of just fell into my lap, you can say. I didn't have the traditional intro into branding. I started off as an engineering major. That's what I went to school for. I graduated and I found myself dabbling into marketing. Got a little interested in that and just wanted to see what that was like. And then from getting into that marketing route, I started doing modeling. And I noticed that through my success in that realm, a lot of people started asking me questions. They were like, how did you build your brand? And to me, I'm like, I didn't know that I was building a brand at all. I just was doing things that were normal to me. So the first step in building a brand is setting yourself apart. Now that is really important. You want to know who you are and you want to know what you have to bring to the table. So like I said earlier, I was doing modeling, but modeling wasn't my calling. I wanted to help people. I wanted to give back to those around me, and I wanted to inspire others. So from that aspect of modeling, I shifted to blogging because I felt like my voice and my story could be told. I'd be able to help more people. And through getting into blogging, I realized that I needed to aim for specific goals and small goals. That way I can know how I'm going to exactly set myself apart from others. I wanted to be able to share all the information that I've learned and give it back. So that was the first. The second is knowing your niche. Now, this is really important because you want to be able to build your foundation in the right places. With blogging, there's so many different avenues you can take. You can do lifestyle blogging. You can be a travel blogger. You can be a food blogger. Exercise, health and wellness. There's all these different avenues. And you really have to figure out what are things that you like to do and what is easy. Now, I don't say easy it's not going to be all around easy. There is going to be, some hard things to do, but what comes easy? What are you passionate about? Like, if you are passionate about working out, then you should probably get into health and wellness. If you're passionate about sharing your everyday life, you should probably get into lifestyle. If you're passionate about exploring the world and seeing what, you know, the world has to offer and like seeing new places, then you should probably get into travel blogging. Now, with all of that, it takes a lot of research, and that's something that I did. I am really, really big on Google. I'm big on YouTube, and I'm big on Pinterest. I feel like you can find all the resources that you need when you just, you know, do a quick search and see like, what is this? And don't be afraid to ask people as well. I think that one thing that holds us back from our personal brand and understanding and knowing our niche is that sometimes we are afraid to ask people for information. And I feel like the worst thing that someone can tell you is no. And if that person does tell you no, there's a million other people that are going to tell you yes, or, you know, help you out, nurture you, give you the information that you need. So I think that is very, very important. And another aspect to knowing your niche is, or for me, is picking a platform. I think that when we are in the process of branding ourselves and branding our likeliness and our image, we tend to get really scatterbrained. We want to be on everything, and we want the visibility. So when I first started, I spread myself so thin. I was doing Instagram, I was on Twitter, I was on YouTube, I was on all these different platforms, and I started to realize that my quality was suffering. You know, it's not always about how many places and how many platforms you can be on. It's really about putting the time and effort into your work. So my best advice is to focus on just one platform. And when you become a master of that platform, then you start spreading your wings and you start dabbling into other places. For me, like I said, I started off with my blog. I got so excited. I was so passionate. I was like, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm a blogger. You couldn't tell me anything. Like, I got my website. I was, you know, putting out blog posts, and I realized that my platform was really Instagram. That was where I was seeing like the most feedback from my audience, and that was where people, you know, were being drawn to me. So I just changed my game plan and started focusing mainly on Instagram. And from that focus, I was able to, you know, hone in on that platform and really let that platform grow. And now that it's growing, I've been able to branch off into other platforms. So I'm on Pinterest, and I'm also on TikTok. If you guys are not on TikTok, if y'all are not on TikTok, TikTok is really fun. But yeah, you definitely want to just focus in on one and naturally, and then let the rest grow. So my last branding tip from Ground Zero is developing your personality. And I say this, I mean, from the beginning, you know, you have your personality. You already know the kind of brand you want. You already know the voice that you want to give off and portray. But I think that what a lot of people do is they forget who they are along the way. You know, like, something that I always remind myself of is I still want to give off that same mission that I started with. So all of my content and everything that I do, all of my marketing, it always ties back to that one mission in some way, shape, or form. I mean, it might look different along the way, but the core value and the core message is always going to be the same. And it gets hard. I shared a really vulnerable moment a few days ago, or was it last week, on my social media, that I was overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed with the growth of my social media. I mean, people start, you know, I started and I didn't expect to be where I am today. I didn't expect to, you know, be doing this full time, be doing my passion full time. But yeah, it's like really, really easy well, it was easy for me to get overwhelmed. And I really had to just take a step back because I felt like I was focusing on different things. Like I was focusing a lot on perfection. This is something that people close to me, a lot of my friends and family, they've been like beating it into my head. They're like, Oyin, like, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have the perfect feed. You don't have to, you know, make the most stunning visuals. Like, your voice is enough. Like, whatever you put out is enough. And people want to see the real you. They don't, I mean, the pretty stuff is nice. The aesthetics, nice, all that stuff. But you need to get back to the focus, to the root. So I think that once you develop your personality, make sure that you're staying consistent with your voice and just maintaining that, you will definitely be set to go with branding. So those are my 3 topics covering branding from ground zero. And thank you guys so much. If you have questions, like Nate said, please leave them in the chat, and then I can go deeper into anything. So thank you once again.
Hey guys, thank you for listening. This show is powered by Ground Zero Coffee, an East African coffee company focused on community impact through storytelling and social enterprise. Ground Zero serves specialty grade and ethically traded coffee sourced from its place of origin, Ethiopia, and the greater East African regions. Ground Zero is committed to creating new narratives and closing the wealth gap within underrepresented communities worldwide through storytelling and social enterprise. Be sure to show your support and order your coffee from Ground Zero now at startfromgroundzero.com.